AITA for being the reason a marriage broke up. Okay, so this is complicated, and I feel like I might be the a-hole, but I'm honestly not sure. I, 28M, have been friends with Jenna, obligatory fake name, 29F, since we were kids. We grew up in the same neighborhood, went to the same school, and we were super close throughout our teenage years, but there was never anything romantic on my side and never any hint that she might want more. When I was 18, I moved out of state for college, and we kind of drifted apart. Fast forward a few years, and I'm back in town for a new job, and Jenna and I reconnected. She's married to Tom, 30M, who went to school with us, but we were never friends and didn't talk due to our different social circles. He's a nice guy, but I don't know him super well. Anyway, Jenna and I start hanging out again once a week for coffee, and we quickly fell back into the same old easy banter and connection we had growing up. Over the next few months, we started spending more and more time together. We'd grab coffee, have dinner, go for walks, and just talk for hours. I started wishing we were more than friends, but we were comfortable together. I never crossed any boundaries, and I wasn't willing to risk our friendship for unrequited feelings. Here's where I think I messed up. Jenna confided in me that her marriage with Tom wasn't in a great place. She said they were drifting apart, and there was a lot of tension between them. She didn't seem to be actively unhappy, but things were strained. She vented to me a lot, and I tried to offer her comfort and advice that was pretty much just give it time or talk to him about it. One night we were grabbing drinks and she was complaining about her marriage, and then, out of nowhere, she kissed me. I was in shock, honestly. I didn't kiss her back at first, but she kept saying she was unhappy, and that maybe this was just what she needed to feel better and get her life back on track. I didn't stop her when she kissed me again, and we ended up sleeping together. This continued for a few weeks where we would go out, she'd kiss me, and then she'd end up back at my place. Our texts and phone calls carried on like nothing happened, and she never brought up what happened during these nights. I kept telling myself that I wasn't doing anything that bad, because their relationship seemed so distant anyway. I never initiated the intimacy, and I felt like I was helping her by giving her some emotional and physical comfort. I know, that sounds bad, but that was my mindset at the time. I think I knew how messed up it was, but I kept telling myself that I was helping my friend in an effort to calm the growing guilt. A few days ago I heard from a mutual friend that Jenna and Tom's marriage had crumbled and they were separating and getting a divorce. From what this friend heard, Jenna told him that she'd been sleeping with me and there was a massive blowout. Tom and devastated and packed his bags and headed for a hotel. I feel like absolute garbage. I care about both Jenna and Tom, but I've caused them so much pain and pretty much blown up their already strained marriage. I know I didn't intend to break up their marriage and that I'm not the only one responsible, but I definitely played a huge part in it. I don't know if I'm just an a-hole for crossing the line and sleeping with a married woman and they were already doomed, or if their marriage was salvageable and I completely destroyed it. I'm struggling with the guilt because I do care about Jenna, but I also knew she was married, and I shouldn't have gotten involved like that. So, AITA? Important comments. You're the a-hole. Look, I get that you didn't intend for things to go this way, but you absolutely crossed a line. The fact that Jenna was unhappy in her marriage doesn't give you an excuse to emotionally and physically get involved with her. You knew she was married, and you knew that what you were doing was wrong. Just because she was venting to you doesn't mean you should have been the one to comfort her in that way. You were aware of the situation, and you chose to sleep with her, despite knowing the potential consequences. It's really important to recognize that you were a huge part of why their marriage ended. Relationships are complicated, and yes, maybe they were already struggling, but you actively made it worse. It was pretty clear she was seeking something more than friendship and you went along with it. That not helping, that's taking advantage of her vulnerability. You say you care about both of them, but if you really did, you would have set boundaries, especially since Tom didn't deserve to be blindsided like that. You may have been the only reason the marriage ended, but you definitely played a big part. Maybe they would have gotten divorced anyway, but you chose to get involved in a way that made it happen sooner rather than later. I'm not saying you're an irredeemable person, but you were definitely an a-hole in this situation. OP response. Yeah, I've been sitting with that realization, and I get why you're calling me out. I guess I've been trying to justify it in my head by telling myself they were already on the outs, but the truth is I made a terrible decision, and I can't deny that I played a huge part in things falling apart. I really didn't mean for it to go that way. I didn't think it would blow up like it did, but I know I still should have set boundaries the first time she kissed me. The fact that I didn't makes me feel like an idiot. I wanted to be there for her as a friend, and when things escalated, I didn't stop it. Honestly, I'm not proud of how I handled it, and I feel like crap every time I think about it. I keep wondering if things would have been different if I had just stuck to being a friend and not crossed that line. If maybe Jenna and Tom would have stuck together and working things out. It sucks that I didn't see it sooner. I'm not trying to make excuses for myself, I know what I did was wrong. Just trying to figure out how to move forward from here and how to make things right, but I'm not sure if that's even possible at this point. Thanks for the reality check. Update, AITA for being the reason a marriage broke up? Feeling more lost than ever. Hey everyone, first off, thank you for all the comments and advice. I've been reading through all of them and reflecting, and I'm so grateful for the wake-up call, so thank you guys for the comments, even the harsh ones. This whole situation has spiraled in ways I never anticipated, and I'm struggling with a lot of guilt and confusion about where things stand now. Since I last posted, Jenna reached out to me to tell me herself that she and Tom had officially decided to separate and that they were moving towards divorce. She was clearly very emotional, and after everything that had happened, and my part in causing her to feel this way, I didn't want to just disappear. We've been friends for years, and I still care about her, so I agreed to meet up to talk. When we got together, I thought we'd talk about how she's feeling, how things are with Tom, and what comes next for her, and I'd be there to provide comfort and support. But it quickly became clear that Jenna wasn't just looking for a friendly chat. She started talking about how she was finally free from her marriage, and how much she wanted to start fresh, maybe with me. I think she was hoping we could explore the connection we'd had when we were spending time together before everything got messy. And I have to admit, I felt that pull too. There's always been something between us, and now, with her being out of her marriage, it felt like maybe we could finally explore it. But the moment those thoughts started creeping in, guilt hit me like a ton of bricks. I can't stop thinking about how I've completely messed up everything. I can't shake the fact that I'm the reason her marriage ended, and that makes any thought of starting something with her feel completely wrong. At the same time, I feel awful for causing her marriage to fall apart due to our relationship and then not wanting to continue it. It's clear Jenna's looking for something more than friendship. She's looking for someone to lean on after everything with Tom fell apart, and I'm still here, emotionally tangled up in the mess of it all, but also holding back because of the guilt. I don't want to be the guy who takes advantage of her vulnerable state. I don't want to make things worse for her, and I certainly don't want to be the rebound guy, especially when I know the mess I've already created. I tried setting boundaries with her like I should have in the beginning, but she didn't seem to be getting it. She kept going on about how she really needed someone and didn't I want to help her. I said that I was happy to provide support as a friend, but that we needed to keep it at just that, but she kept saying the same thing over and over. Now I feel like I've abandoned her after messing things up so badly in her life. I can't tell if she wants a relationship or to continue the casual hookups we had before, but she isn't seeming to understand that I won't cross that line with her again. Honestly, I don't know if I'll ever be able to look at her the same way. After everything that happened, I can't pretend that the guilt isn't constantly hanging over me. I feel like I broke her marriage, and now I'm stuck in this weird position where I can't even be there for her in the way I'd like to. I still care about her, but how can I support her when I'm the one who helped put her in this position? How can I support her without making things worse if she's not on the same page about our relationship? It's also been really hard to even look at our mutual friends. I'm not sure if they know exactly what happened and my role in it, but it feels like I'm being silently judged every time I see them. I probably deserve it, and whatever they think of me if they do know my role in everything, but the guilt is eating me up. I know the one's friends who are friends with Tom must know what happened, or will know soon, and that my friendships are likely all going to crumble, but it's nothing more than I deserve. I reached out to Tom to express how sorry I am, and he was rightly angry and upset. I let him yell at me over the phone and did what I could to answer his questions and try to provide comfort, but I've completely messed up his marriage and I don't think anything I could say will help him. I feel like an idiot, and I can't escape the reality of what I've done. The whole situation has just become way too complicated, and I don't know how to fix it. In short, I'm in a tough spot. I don't think I can ever have a normal, healthy relationship with Jenna now, and I definitely don't want to be the person she turns to just because she's feeling lost after her divorce. I've messed up her life, and now I feel like I'm stuck in this limbo where I can't move forward. I don't want to make things harder for her, but I also can't just ignore what happened. I've likely messed up my friendships and I don't really have anyone to turn to outside the situation, so yeah, things are tough. I've seen that I'm definitely the a-hole in this situation, but I'm not sure what to do to fix it.